Hello, fellow freaks, geeks, and normies. Welcome to the first annual. Way too early to say because I have no insider information, experience with, nor evidence of these games. Game of the Year 2024. There are a few ways that you can look at this list. You can see it as things you should keep your eye on when it releases this year, or maybe a most anticipated of the year, but fuck that. This is my Game of the Year 2024 with no support to the claim at all. And I hear you barking, but Leodonits, it's too gosh darn early for a Game of the Year award. You're goddamn right it is. So let's get to it. To lay some ground rules or a guide to this, I am limiting the amount of nominees to 6. Remasters or remakes are not included. So that includes Final Fantasy Rebirth, The Last of Us remaster, as well as, the Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remasters. Those are not going to be on this list. Nor will any major updates or DLCs be on this list for games that were released pre-2024. So that includes Destiny 2's The Final Shape or Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. That is not going to be on this list either. These are games that I am 100% confident will release in the year 2024. And if they don't release in 2024, then boy howdy, will I look like a damn fool. I will also 100% be creating assumptions about the game's gameplay and story. So here are your nominees for Game of the Year 2024. Let's start off with some games that just barely missed the top 6. And yes, I'm fully committing to this act. As a disclaimer, I do not know how these games actually play, know any major story beats, know anything more than what is present in trailers and interviews that I've skimmed through, which is not many, and I will make completely baseless claims and present these baseless claims as fact. If any of my pros, cons, thoughts, or etc. become the actual reception and common thoughts of the game at its release, then I'm a God. If at least 3 of these games make it on the majority of people's actual Game of the Year list at the end of the year, then I must say I will become an insufferable bitch because I told you so. Also, it is okay to buy into the hype train sometimes. So get the fuck excited about some of the games that are releasing this year, whatever it is, unless it's Suicide Squad or Skull and Bones, because those will definitely let you down.
A fleeting moment can feel like a lifetime for those caught in its deadly rhythm. And a lifetime can pass in the blink of an eye for anyone embracing its bitter end.
First up, we got Rise of the Ronin, developed by Team Ninja and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Although surely it's a great game, it suffers from the same gripes I had with the Neo series and Wolong. Weapons and action just don't feel as impactful as they are in, let's say, Lies of P or Elden Ring. Some weapons feel like they go straight through an enemy with little feedback from them. I do feel like they did clean up the loot system this time around though, even if just by little. Anything is better than what we got in Neo and Wolong because min-maxing in those games were laborious to say the least.
Ambition. Do you hear it? It's restless.
Next up, we got Frostpunk 2, developed and published by 11-Bit Studio. Most everything was improved from the first one this time around. Choices are more fucked up and really make you question your own morality. The storms are stronger and the graphics are stunning. But much like Spider-Man 2, and just about the only comparison I can make between these two games, it was just a bit too familiar in the end, and the ending itself made you feel, happy, sad. Happy that you got at least some people to survive, but sad about how you got there.
Use the galaxy's most advanced weaponry. Fight alongside.
Alright, next up we got Helldivers 2, developed by Arrowhead Game Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Quite easily the best multiplayer game to have released in 2024, but it is one of those games where you only get the full experience by playing with friends. Sure, you can get into a game with some blueberries, but it's just not the same. Although I will say it feels extra rewarding when you and some strangers eke out a victory for freedom and democracy.
Join the fight for freedom. Enlist today.
Now, on to the actual nominees. But before we get to them, please remember to like and subscribe. And here we go.
People are equal, and no conflict exists, much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
first nominee for Game of the Year 2024 is Metaphor ReFantazio, developed by Studio Zero and published by Atlas. This game was built from JRPG veterans. Metaphor ReFantazio comes out at a perfect time. We're all still recovering from the most recent season of Jujutsu Kaisen, and Demon Slayer is most likely going to be pulling the same bullshit this year, making us say goodbye to characters before we're even ready to. And while Persona and Nier games were sort of thought-provoking, I didn't feel overwhelmingly emotional when we got to the major story beats. So I think we're safe. Anyway, with great pacing, a fun gameplay loop, and an engaging story, Metaphor ReFantazio seems to be the beginning of the next big thing for Atlas and a great series to look forward to. And wow, what a cliffhanger at the end there, huh?
風間の力は命を育み、その力であなた自身と和也さんを救ってあげて。
My second nominee for Game of the Year 2024 is Tekken 8. Tekken 8 is developed by Bandai Namco Studios and Arika and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. Wow, they really did just kill Heihachi like that and did not bring him back, huh? Wild. Anyway, Tekken 8 is the advancement in fighting games that we needed. It's on par with, or maybe even beyond, what Street Fighter 6 did for that franchise last year. With a new heat system that caters into my own personal aggressive playstyle, to an anime as fuck story, to their wholesome arcade story, this game basically has it all. It even has an AI ghost bot that learns your playstyle and will actively teach you how to improve on your own weaknesses. Oh, you always get caught by that delayed sweep? You'll spam that shit until you're able to react to it. It will mix you up. You'll also learn how to fight it like Dark Souls boss, only for it to throw something new. And on top of that, the accessibility options are next level. All in all, this is truly a showcase of a next-gen fighter. I'll see y'all at EVO.
Bask in the tropical sun, take in the ocean breeze, and join Ichiban as he explores paradise on a mission to find his mother. Alone, far from home, without a penny to his name, he must rise from rock bottom.
My third nomination for Game of the Year is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, developed by Ryu ga Gotoku Studio and published by Sega. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth turns everything you knew about the Yakuza and or Like a Dragon series up to 11. No, actually, fuck that. It's a 12. No, wait, 15. Yeah, 15 is good enough. Dude, this game's just fun. Like, how can you watch this footage on screen right now and think, wow, this game sucks? Like, do you just hate fun? Not every game has to be a sweat fest. Like, who you trying to impress? Listen, I'm somebody who has 100%ed all but one FromSoft game since Demon Souls, got 100% in Lies of P, and got 1000 gamer score on OG Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And yeah, that includes the Mile High Club on Veteran. So I know what makes me hard. I mean, what makes a game hard. Okay, this isn't a dick measuring contest, although I wouldn't doubt that Infinite Wealth has something like that. In fact, since I totally know what's in the game, I can say that there is something like that in the game, and it was awesome, and it proves that size doesn't matter, which is awesome for me, okay?
The bell has tolled on the age of the console. The return of the sovereign.
Fourth up is Dragon's Dogma 2, developed and published by Capcom. With this follow-up to a cult hit, Capcom continues their stride with Dragon's Dogma 2. If you played any Souls-like out there and thought, no, fuck that, I'd rather mash and see some cool shit, then this is the game for you. The weapon choices are vast and the magic is impactful. There truly is no wrong way to approach this game, but like with any other ARPG out there, there will be meta builds, but honestly, just play it the way you want. Not only that, this game shows how well Capcom is utilizing the RE engine, and it seems that the visuals and the consistency of those visuals is impressive, to say the least, for an open world game of this size. All of these things really shined in the large boss set pieces. Wait until you get to them. You'll see. Wait, am I just anime pilled? Like Metaphor, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon, and Dragon's Dogma all are pretty anime adjacent.
The heartbeat of the lost ones. I can feel them on my skin.
The fifth nominee for Game of the Year 2024 is Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, developed by Ninja Theory and published by Xbox Game Studios. I would like to think that we, as a gaming community are over the whole, this game is only 6 hours, it's not worth. Because honestly, this game is worth every penny. Much like Hellblade 1, Senua's journey throughout the game is not one to be forgotten. This is a compact experience, and for good reason. Like, why bloat the game to 20 to 30 hours when you can experience something that only calls for 5 to 8? Each encounter, each set, each new reveal is carefully crafted to give us exactly what the developers intended for us to experience. It is all out there for us to experience in one go, and there's little to go back on in terms of replayability like collectibles and side quests, but that is by design. You can experience your story again and again if you want, and maybe find new things you like about it, but that initial punch is something that even Saitama would be inspired by. Yeah, I'm definitely anime pilled. And last but not least, the 6th nominee of this year's Game of the Year 2024 is Avowed.
People don't like you very much, do they? Sent here to the living lands.
Developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios. The ARPG studio that Bethesda wishes it could be. Good thing they're on the same team now. Obsidian proves that the creation engine needs to go. And while there are still a few growing pains with Unreal 5 on display in Avowed, it doesn't take away from the sheer amount of content this game is offering. Weaving between your magic and melee feels fluid. And while I usually go for a melee build in fantasy RPGs, the visuals of the magic are just too good to pass up. Not only that, the enemy variation is nothing to scoff at. The zones overall are dense and each biome truly feels like a different world. It feels like they learned from their mistakes of the Outer Worlds and took those criticisms of things like boring loot and perks being lame. It seems like they took that personally and worked to make the game more engaging. This is the first AAA adventure since New Vegas, and they knocked it out of the park. Look at that. No Xbox tax this year or any year. And can I just say, if you believe that there was Xbox tax at all, ever, in the existence of Game of the Year nominations, then you're delusional. Anyway, enough long-winded, baseless explanations. The moment is finally here. Game of the Year for 2024. And the Game of the Year for 2024 is Helldivers 2. You said it didn't make the cut. I feel like it just barely missed it. The actual winner is Dragon's Dogma 2. Being anime pilled, but not so pilled that Rare Fantasio wins. And continuing the trend of single-player games with high customization and player agency, Dragon's Dogma 2 wins the way too early to say because I have no insider information, experience with, or evidence of these games. Game of the Year 2024. If you liked this little thought project, you can go ahead and like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. I do stream on Twitch Monday evenings as well as Thursday through Saturday evenings on twitch.tv/LeoDonuts. And I am actually streaming on YouTube now. I figured out how to get my stream to work on both platforms, YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So it's pretty awesome. If you want to see the 2K or 4K stream, then you would go to YouTube. If you just want to see low latency, then you would go to Twitch. 2024 is shaping up to be a good year for gaming. I'm super excited. Obviously, I will be an insufferable bitch for sure if any of these games end up on any sort of Game of the Year list, as well as if any of these games win. If Dragon's Dogma 2 wins Game of the Year, you will not hear the end of it. Anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see y'all in the next one.